see, for example, people going through and analyzing all the photos and trying to figure out, who was this person and who was part of all these teams that were doing the setup, that were, possibly going to be the ones to detonate their bomb, and who were the crisis actors and this and that. And yeah, all that's in there, but in the long run, that doesn't make any difference unless you understand the main thing that's going on here. Okay? And first, let me give you this disclaimer, because I'm not saying that any of this can really be changed. I'm not saying that any of this can really be stopped, or that I know for sure that it has to be stopped. But having said that, I'm not condoning the violence by whoever perpetrated it, whatever their identities are. They're caught up in a web of political intrigue, and it's all about greed. It's all about supposedly serving your country, which again leads back to greed, because countries and nations are competing for power and market share. And it all goes back down to the overall oil war. Okay? So underline that, because we're going to get to that by the conclusion of this video as to how it all ties in. And the reason why it implicates all of us, including yours truly, and I can't be innocent of this. I'm actually just as guilty. And we'll also get to that by the end of this. So it's hard for me to point the finger at anyone as a result of my awareness of how we're all caught up on this, and we have, every one of us, not done enough to create another world, a better world. This is the world that we live in, and these are the things that happen. They have to happen. But again, having said that, my condolences go out to the people that were injured or that supposedly were injured, because obviously they have major mental diseases if they have to pretend that way, or they are convinced that they need to do it for national security. That's debatable. But according to them, it's not open for debate. That's their shadow government. So I'll tell you something. These guys that were going around heavily armed, mocking down the public domain, and people's private domains, they were actually locking down and booting people out and disrupting their lives and terrorizing those children. Yeah, I mean, that's like Newtown all over again in Watertown. Let's terrorize the whole new generation. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's something in me as a red-blooded American, a real American, a hot-blooded patriot. I like to go around like that, in full metal jacket and the big assault gun with the heavy artillery coordinating with me, and just, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I like that better than the video game, actually. I want to live that out, but I haven't gotten around to applying yet. But let me tell you something. When the fucking shit hits the fan, I'm on it. You can guarantee that. And better frickin' believe you better be on my side, or you going down. You're fucking going down with a bullet between the eyes. Yeah, sure. Now, listen. When they did that whole police state thing, they were basically sending a message to the American citizens that you don't want this gun control, we're going to have gun control because we control the guns. And we're going to shove it down your throat, and we're going to push it through, and whoever doesn't like it, well, see, this is what we can do to you. So basically, they're coming over because Massachusetts was a pushover for it. I'm not saying that it was completely easy. I'm not saying that everyone in the state government and over in Massachusetts there will collude with the federal plans. But guess what? Politics are dirty, and people are getting blackmailed. I don't know who was blackmailed, but I tell you what, you better look into it, because it was the governor or the mayor or whoever else in the state police. Somebody's rubbing somebody else's back. Someone's getting their palm greased. It's all about payola, or I'll control you, or I'll reveal this, and you better go along with our national security plans. And there's some infighting going on. There's some infighting, and I'm not sure like how the FBI is getting along with the CIA or whatever that might be. And I'm not saying that I disagree with the fact that they have to fight amongst themselves, because granted, if I was in there, which I'm not yet, which I can't really admit to, and if I did, I'd have to kill you. But I mean, the thing is, I know exactly their mindset. I know exactly. Thank you very much. So if you want to interrogate me, I'll be turning the tables around, interrogating you. Now, having said that, let's look at the international picture, because they want to send out a message to the whole world, just like I'm sending out a message. And by the way, make sure you like this, comment, share it with everyone you possibly can, because I'm speaking for you. I've watched your videos, I've read your comments, and I'm putting it all together. I'm kind of like that. I'm a sponge, and then I'm like a fire hose. I spray it all out of the sponge, something like that. So, and make sure you subscribe too, so you don't miss the next one that comes out. Whatever is going to happen next, I'm going to take it apart, whether it's a false flag or a red flag or what have you. Now, internationally speaking, first they said it was the Saudis, and Glenn Beck, he was all onto that. So, okay, got a phone call and foreign, diplomats, and yeah, you better this and that. And he flew him back out of the country, and supposedly he was related to Osama. Pardon my Freudian slip, but now Glenn Beck said this is all a whole thing, and now Obama is on the way to getting impeached and court-martialed and such, and Janet Napolitano is going to go first. So, I'm not going to shed any tears over that. I'm not saying it's a done deal, but these are the power struggles that are going to go on. There's a lot of infighting and factions in the government. And I'm saying the DOJ is probably involved. I'm saying the Republicans are probably getting involved. I'm saying that John McCain is probably involved. I'm saying that Rick Perry in Texas is probably involved. I'm saying that the Libertarian faction's probably involved, Rand Paul and Ron Paul, and all this kind of stuff going on. You can't count out Jeb Bush down in Florida, you see. So, look at this thing going on. I'm not throwing all these names out there because can't specifically address everything in this, but if they want the international world to take note, it's basically to strike fear into the hearts of any of the potential terrorists out there, because there are people in the world who are wanting, planning, and plotting to do America and Americans harm, like big time harm. So as far as the national security bottom line, we have to do something about it. Now, if you want to get more analytical and be like a real thinker and know what's going on, there's a reason for the terrorism. And this video is not going to get into this, but shh, if you know what I'm talking about, you're really laughing now, you're giggling, because of course there is a strong reason why there's terrorism against the Americans. I wish they would figure it out, because karma's a biatch. Now, the rest of the world has been notified. Now, more specifically, we're going to have to get into Russia, because after the Saudi intrigue, then they had to put it on the patsy of the Chechens. So the Russians had warned them about it, and this, and their mother knew that they were in contact with the FBI, and this, okay, all this has already come out. So why? Why do this? Because it's a patsy, whether or not the patsy really wanted to do it, but there's not a total setup, but it's partially a setup. So all these things are like deal with a lot of factors coming together so that everyone seems to be partially guilty, but the patsy's going to have to take the fall, right? It's going to be a scapegoat that's sent out. And there's a reason why they got rid of his ability to speak, with a throat wound. That's why I protect my throat. I protect my whole, but, I'm not, again, on the FBI payroll and playing with fire like that. No, I'm just giving you truth. And I speak truth to power, if I could use a motto there, but I don't know exactly what it means. I'm just doing a video vlog, and I want everybody to understand how things work in the world. I don't think I can really change them. I don't know if they should be changed, but why would they put the pressure on Russia now, and now like Russia's supposedly hopping to it and arresting all these Islamic terrorists that they have within their borders? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, could it be kind of a trade-off? That this is a theory that I heard, and I actually give it a lot of credence here. I give it a lot of serious contemplation, because now the Syrian struggle, they call it a civil war, they can up the ante there, because I think they have struck a deal between the superpowers, and all of it may be hinging on this. It has some, need I say more? I mean, you have to. This is something deep. This is deep. So Israel is now strafing Gaza and this and that, and supposedly from the Syria or Lebanon they're getting hit by either Hezbollah or somebody is into their Golan Heights area, so they're beefing up patrols, and you better be careful, because we'll do everything and anything to defend our borders. And Syria's, under a lot of pressure, but Syria also has some allies, there too. So this is kind of Iran thing, China, Iraq, and then Turkey and NATO on that side, and all kinds of free agents here, these radicals and these al-Qaedas, and who supports al-Qaeda and what al-Qaeda really is. All of it ties in, folks. So this is the bigger picture, and it's a lot of power fighting. I'm glad that I'm not involved in it right now, but I am keeping abreast of the situation, and this is what I think. Thanks for listening. Leave your comments, and we will see if I ever do another video about this, depending on what else happens in the world. Keep you posted.